So, back to the Genshin Impact chores again. Where am I going? Not this way, not this way. Did you know that those cherry blossoms in real life Japan, they only blossom for about 2 weeks, I think, at most? But not in Genshin Impact. It's quite nice to have eternal blossom here. But we got a lot of work to do, and this is probably going to take another 100 years to complete. So let's continue with... What's she talking about? So let's continue with the Genshin Impact Archon Quest Chapter 2, Act 1, from the start of Komore Tea House, and that is where I left off in my last video. So yeah, let's enter. Exciting.
Well, now that we're here, where's Thoma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What?
What? Is that dog talking to us?
The dog is not Thoma,
Relax.
right?
No need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form?
You're kidding,
so you
right?
didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
No, I didn't.
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright, I've had my fun.
Okay, you got me there for a second.
You're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister!
I think we should give him an ugly
Well,
nickname.
I've had some time to kill,
Thoma.
given that I've been waiting here for you for so
Thoma.
long, as was the case in
I
Rito.
can't think of anything.
So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
So am I important enough?
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you.
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
Okay. So, Doge can talk then? Oh no, he only says woof. I can't pet him or anything. He's very cute. Can I take him with me? So here's the statue Thoma was talking about. Let's see what he has to say.
This area sure feels gloomy. People probably don't come here often, do they?
It's only in the middle of the city, but...
Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts.
And Inazuma is the city of... Electro. I don't know.
As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs, and the Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis.
What's happening?
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Did something happen?
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then what?
Don't touch random statues. That's what you get.
Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, so if what you just said is true,
right now is just to get through
then
the
the
ambitions
of these people are stronger than I imagined. Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the
Finally.
Kamisato residence.
Let's go.
Finally!
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. So look, that's Inazuma City over there, and we are just standing near that statue over there. And now, we're here. Kamisato residence. Let's go meet Ayaka.
This is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh?
Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Thoma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. He's a traveler. Lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
Okay, I'm leaving.
No, please!
Bye!
Wait! Please, don't
Solve
go!
your own problems.
I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
I have a hunch they're not going to be small wishes.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
Okay. This is gonna take another 5
a warrior
hours,
who
isn't
guards
it?
a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon got that right?
Warrior, samurai,
Correct.
swordmaster.
Please do all you can
Kind
to
of
help
the same
them.
person, but different.
I will await your return here. Then you have my gratitude.
Awesome.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Let's see. Where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Drama.
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare.
Is this our
the children
warrior,
are
our
desperate for you to
samurai,
take them out to
or
play. Please.
swordmaster?
Must be the guy Ayaka told us about.
Yes,
Let's
but
go
which
over
one?
and see.
Let's go meet him. Oh, we have to talk to his elderly buddies first.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree.
Hey, other granny?
Ah, you must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay.
Of
Tejima
course.
has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago.
Ah, so he's
Keeping
the
out the treasure
guardsman
hoarders,
warrior.
fending off any monsters that draw near.
So the villagers are pissed off because their protector's going to leave them.
You must be Tejima. So what
I'd say
made you wanna up
go
and
for
leave
it,
all of a
Tejima.
sudden?
Travel the world.
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay. True, but that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions.
Why would
because
he
I
be
can't
here for 30
remember
years?
anymore.
Maybe because it's
Ever
a
since
pretty
they
village.
took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone.
Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come flooding
Paimon,
back.
that's really insensitive to say. Just try a little
that
harder to
reminds me.
remember. What the?
Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
So we steal his diary?
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to
Oh, yes, yes, you do.
One day, I'll be as great as...
I'd say we sent Granny off to find the diary. Oh, it's here. That wasn't very hard. That was like
This
5
looks like
meters
Tejima's
away.
diary, all right. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was black snakehead instead.
Interesting.
Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After
Just
I
like
went
Paimon.
kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after... Seems like your average diary of daily village life.
Boring.
Wait, there's more!
Oh, now we're getting to it.
I went to pray at the shrine again today, and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession.
I'm not weep enough to know what it is.
Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine.
Okay. Omamori. Omamori. Where is the shrine? Ah, it's right here. Examine marks.
So this is the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child.
I still don't understand what it is, but
had this with him
I bet
all
you
the
weeps
time,
know it.
There's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it.
Huh? Elemental sites to use to find what? Oh yeah, I'm using the Omamori thingy to track stuff. Huh? Where is it now? I just saw the purple here. Do I go here? Oh, I do go here. Yeah. No. Here. Check.
Here we are! This seems to be somewhere that Tejima visited a lot. The soil looks like it's been disturbed.
Maybe it's his toilet.
Tejima buried must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and take a look. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Must have been written a really long time. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again?
Konda Village, that's where we are. If we become separated during the war, go wait for me in Konda Village. Oh, it's a love story. It's here, Paimon, it's here.
So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone.
Apparently,
but he's been
yes.
here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh?
Another attempt by MiHoYo to break our hearts.
Let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belonged to me too. It's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regret, everything I felt for her. It's all disappeared.
Does that make you feel sad? Well, it does make me feel sad, yes.
No, not especially.
Oh, but not him. Okay.
After all, I've forgotten who she was. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying here.
I hate to break it, but I don't think she's gonna turn up after 30 years.
I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
But that's very noble of you.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad.
Me too, Paimon.
Just like
Me
Ayaka
too.
and Thoma were saying.
Okay, so that was number 1. On to number 2. The views again, the views. There's Inazuma City. And here is our samurai.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones but why would they take action against one of their own? Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's
I'll give you
gang, no
Paimon
doubt.
to eat.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything.
I've never
Explain
even heard
yourself.
of these emergency provisions.
I don't buy it.
I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. My own family can barely get by as it is. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree.
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. Guys, to top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here in the first place.
This is kind of a sad
I was chasing
guy.
after them when I got held up by these two.
The first was kind of cool, but sad. And this one is kind of sad
If you don't believe
and
me,
sad.
go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
Sure. Yeah, let's
We
kill
should
them
be able to
first
follow
and
their
then
tracks.
ask
They
questions.
couldn't have gone.
Oh, they're looting his house, right? So I have to find his house. Huh? Is this his house? I think this is his tiny house. He told us he was poor. But seriously though, where is his bloody house? Oh.
We really outdid ourselves this time. You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. You demand!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson.
First, apply shield.
By royal decree.
Then go.
Nice and spicy.
Picked
That
the wrong
was
test.
Oh, there goes all the Mora.
not a very
We
long
worked hard to
fight.
steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid.
I would try an apology
You
if
ever
I
think
were
of
you.
joining the treasure hoarders? Kurosawa. Oh, I remember.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. I didn't want anyone else to see it. So I
Okay,
was planning, but
so
now that
our
you've caught
samurai is
us,
telling
how
the
about
truth.
we make a deal?
Truth. Probably.
That little box
I
for our
think.
freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
A box? He found a box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
There's nothing in here but IOUs.
What's an IOU?
Yeah, a lot of them
What's
too.
an IOU?
And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store. You're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
Yes, of course.
So we redeemed ourselves
But
for some
they've
IOUs.
robbed several houses.
Does that mean we?
And
Shut
now
it.
they just give
Let's
us a
just
box
get
and we
out
let
of
them
here.
go. But they're still running away with all the loot? Because that's kind of...
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah,
Yes,
so
there
you're
is.
friends of Kurosawa, I take it?
How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost.
Okay, so this is probably the story. The provisions, the emergency provisions that he gave to the villagers, he actually paid for them himself. So he's actually a good guy, and now he can't afford it anymore. So now he doesn't give any free food that he pays for anymore. And now the villagers who don't know that he pays for it himself are angry.
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own expense.
Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
What?
But we didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
Information is also a kind of
What?
commodity, wouldn't you agree?
What kind of scammer is this?
Don't worry, I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway. Oh, let me think. 2,000 Mora should be a fair price.
2,000 Mora? She wants me to give her 2,000 Mora just for a jet? She's kidding,
At
right?
least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if he can remember anything.
Okay, she wasn't kidding. I just walk away, actually. So, another life lesson. People in Inazuma always try to scam you. No, that's not true. It's actually only this lady. Oh, that's... no, wait. And the immigration lady for my previous video. Her too. So that's 2 people who try to scam us already. Hey, Kurosawa. Sorry for landing on your head.
What are you doing here all by yourself? Where did those other 2 go?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left.
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own expense.
You're a saint.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was?
Yeah,
I don't really have any such recollection.
I would be happy about it if I were you.
Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. This sword was once wielded by my father. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he passed away, he placed the sword in my hands.
So he's probably doing those provision things to make his dad proud.
Said to me,
and his sword is some sort of
sword,
reminder.
Hey, if you look carefully, can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice.
And justice?
That's what it says on his sword.
Somehow those 2 words seem to explain everything now.
Really?
Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. And look how things ended up. The Tenryou Commission sees my vision.
This is how evil villains are made.
And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad.
As I said, this is getting really deep.
Myself.
Yet another trouble.
Such emotions.
Let's speak to Thoma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expenses. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. 2
poor souls rescued, a 3rd to go. Although we didn't really rescue them because they still don't have visions. So at least we gave them their memories back.
The 3rd person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous swordmaster around these parts. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
That's who we have to help,
Maybe,
Sensei.
But I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the
Hey there!
What did he say?
Did
possessed?
Happen?
Is the 3rd person...
Who are you?
Possessed by evil spirits?
Don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong!
I'll just beat him up, Paimon, no problem.
Disciples?
Or we go for the diplomatic route.
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something?
So tell us a bit more.
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being.
I'm not going back until I can call him my sensei.
I see you are earnest in your pursuit.
Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit.
Of course it's an evil spirit.
But if I might...
guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
This is gonna be fun. I hope. Oh, we have some more talking to do again.
So he decided to come just now when Nanako was attending to him. She heard him whispering a few names to himself.
I hope that is not the full reason why they think he's possessed.
When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away.
Still not sure if those are clear enough symptoms.
It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes.
Okay, that is getting more disturbing.
All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago. And he has been a wanderer ever since.
Okay.
Sensei wouldn't stop
At least
calling
he
his name.
didn't kill him then, right? Is that him? Oh, he's running away.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism?
Or
we
it's
won't let them get away with it.
Senpai.
Come on!
Let's go. Sensei. What's his name again? Something with a D.
Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up?
Let me get this useless weapon first.
Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up.
Where to? Oh, here.
Suspicious person sighted! That's gotta be him!
Hello.
How did you catch up with me so quickly?
Zhongli has very long legs.
Are you sure you're Domon's disciples?
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the question. And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news, mister.
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. Long before you ever showed up.
So is this the guy who we defeated?
I don't care to talk about that time anymore.
His senior? Wait.
Yeah, he's the guy. This is the guy.
Anzai? Yes,
Anzai.
That's me. Because I don't wish to see
Anzai
Domon or anyone
Sensei.
else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same Swordmaster. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Make Yoshi's Sui art seek to achieve stillness
Can we get
of
the
mind,
short version of
freedom
your
from
story,
all
please?
agitation. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world.
That's not so
Sensei
bad.
scolded him.
He
and
just
told
wanted
him
to be
that
good.
the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends.
Oh.
Sensei
okay.
said that coveting the title of the best swordmaster, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind.
Okay.
And that I thought so too at the time. But only then
This
did
guy
I realize
sounds a bit
that it
jealous
was
to me,
Domon
to
who
be
had
honest.
long since freed his mind. For I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Meikyo Shisui art.
But you didn't become the new sensei, and so you became jealous of the younger guy who did become the sensei.
Of all the
right?
disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high
These people,
expectations from me.
he's just saying that the other guy was too arrogant, and now he continues to say that he is the best and he should have
Domon's
been
arrival
sensei.
changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see for myself.
Yeah, you came here to see him suffer or something. I don't like this guy.
You've heard my story.
He's not very nice.
You should get back now. The exorcism is probably finishing.
So what? Now I missed the
Seems like we got it
exorcism,
wrong,
but I wanted to see an exorcism.
I'm not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how the exorcism's coming along.
What? You're saying he isn't possessed?
Ooh, plot twist.
Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how
Yeah,
is that
he's just crazy.
Monaco, please. Try not to get agitated.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. Lady Yae is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits and aversion of great calamities. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei, but Lady Yae can give a conclusive verdict. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine.
So that's it?
Who would have thought Lady Yae herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yae's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all.
Insult
you misunderstand
Sensei.
me. I just mean this is Lady Yae, the head shrine maiden.
Surely that child isn't flocking off. Do you think that's
there
Lady
she
Yae?
is.
Oh, no wonder Junyo is so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just
She
now?
was definitely checking me out.
It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
What's she gonna say?
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
Plot twist.
Then does that mean he...
Yes.
Yes, he's
this
just
is a change in
crazy.
The person himself.
Completely wacko.
Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse.
He has a burnout.
With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness.
So, is there a pill or something he can take?
As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Yeah, that last line is in the trailer.
Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
So she agrees with me that the other guy is douchebag?
Lady Yae, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the Swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
That's enough.
Whoa, there he is.
Huh? Isn't that Ansai? Where did he come from?
Teleport waypoint, I
Did
think.
he follow us the whole way here?
Creepy.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. But I didn't come here to settle a score.
Good.
It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran.
Oh, he's getting a redemption story now. I'm starting to
I don't
like
think most
him,
of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you.
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told
no less.
myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I want to keep going until the day that...
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
But were you rescued from pirates too?
Goodness.
We'll never know, I guess.
You see?
I no
Everything's
longer have
fine
the
now,
resolve
right?
to become the best in the world.
Cool.
The emptiness but as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far.
I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again.
Ah, look, they're buddies
I am now
now.
used to the life of a wanderer. Don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yae and then get yourself back home.
The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores.
Yep,
For
that's
us
me.
to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment.
Can I skip? Skip? I can skip. Hello? Hello? I'm stuck.
I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
If you clarify what your
Lady
hopes are,
Yae
then
seems to have taken a
I can
real
try.
interest in you.
Haha. Yeah, sure.
She seems super mysterious. I'm so curious what she really meant by all that.
Okay, so that brings us to what I think is the last part of the Archon questline, chapter 2, act 1. So I'm gonna do that another time because this video is going to be crazy long once I start editing it. Yeah, so that's it for today. Enjoy this view once more and bye bye.